Hello and welcome to Electro Nerds Academy. In this video, we're comparing three I2C temperature sensors, the AM2320, SHT31, and HTU21D. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one fits your project best. Here, we can see the specifications of each sensor. Now let's break down what each one does best and where it falls short. The HTU21D stands out with the lowest current consumption, making it perfect for battery-powered projects. It also delivers excellent temperature and humidity range with high accuracy, making it ideal for precision applications. The only trade-off is that it lacks extra features, so it focuses more on performance than flexibility. The SHT31 is the most flexible and feature-rich option. It supports a wider voltage range, offers multiple I2C addresses, and includes an alert pin for advanced control. It's great for more complex projects, though it uses slightly more power. And the AM2320 is a simple and budget-friendly sensor. It's easy to use and gets the job done, but compared to the others, it has higher power consumption, lower accuracy, and a more limited temperature range. All three sensors work on the same basic principle: a capacitive humidity sensor combined with an integrated temperature sensor, which we discussed in one of our previous videos, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already. Now let's take a look at the pin configuration. Each module has 4 main pins for connecting to a microcontroller like Arduino. The layout may vary slightly, but the functionality remains the same. First, we have VCC, which supplies power to the module. Next is GND, the common ground. Then we have the two I2C pins, SCL for the clock signal and SDA for data communication. The SHT31 includes 2 additional pins. The first is the address selection pin, labeled AD. This determines the I2C address of the module. When left unconnected, the default address is 44, and when connected to a high signal, it changes to 45. The second is the alert pin, labeled AL. This pin is triggered when temperature or humidity crosses user-defined limits. When the value exceeds the upper limit or drops below the lower limit, the alert pin goes high and stays high until the readings return within the defined range. Now, let's see the I2C address of each sensor. The SHT31 can have 2 addresses, 44 or 45, depending on the state of the AD pin. The HTU21D uses the address 40. And the AM2320 has a default address of 5C. Now let's connect all 3 sensors with our Arduino. Since all 3 modules use the I2C communication protocol, we can connect them all on the same bus using just 2 communication lines. First, we will connect the VCC pin of all 3 sensors to the 5 volts pin of the Arduino Uno. Next, we will connect the GND pins of all the sensors to the Arduino's ground. Now for the communication lines. We will connect the SCL pin of each sensor to the analog pin 5 of the Arduino Uno. And we'll connect the SDA pin of each sensor to the analog pin 4 of the Arduino Uno. The HTU21D and SHT31 modules already include built-in pull-up resistors for the I2C bus. However, the AM2320 module does not include pull-up resistors, so we need to add them externally. We will use 2 10 kilo ohms resistors. One resistor connects between VCC and SDA, and the second resistor connects between VCC and SCL. And that's it for the wiring. Now let's install the required libraries for all 3 sensors. To install a library, we will open the Library Manager from the left side of the IDE. Then in the search bar, we will first type HTU21 and install the Adafruit library. Once the installation starts, Arduino will ask whether we also want to install the dependent libraries. These include the Adafruit Bus I/O library and the Adafruit Unified Sensor library. Click on Install All to install everything automatically. Next, search for AM2320. This time, instead of using the Adafruit library, we'll install the library by Rob Tillart for the AM232 series sensors. This library proved to be much more reliable during testing, especially for humidity readings. So make sure you install the correct one. Finally, search for Adafruit SHT31 and install the Adafruit's library. Again, if Arduino asks to install dependent libraries, simply click Install All. Once all the libraries are installed successfully, let's see the code where we will read the temperature and humidity values from all 3 sensors simultaneously. At the very beginning of the sketch, we include all the required libraries. First, we include the wire library, which allows Arduino to communicate using the I2C protocol. Next, we include the Adafruit HTU21D library, the AM232 series library by Rob Tillart, and finally the Adafruit SHT31 library. After including the libraries, we create objects for each sensor. For the HTU21D sensor, we create an object named HTU. For the AM2320 sensor, we create an object named AM2320. And for the SHT31 sensor, we create an object named SHT. These objects give us access to all the functions provided by each library. In the setup function, we first initialize serial communication at a baud rate of 9600 so we can display sensor readings on the serial monitor. Next, we initialize the I2C bus using the wire.begin function. This prepares Arduino for communication with all three sensors. Then we add a small delay of 1 second to give the sensors enough time to power up properly before communication begins. After that, we initialize the HTU21D sensor using the begin function of the HTU21D library. This function checks whether the sensor is connected and responding correctly on the I2C bus. The begin function returns a Boolean value, true if the sensor is detected successfully, and false if the sensor is not connected properly or communication has failed. Then we initialize the SHT31 sensor using the begin function of the SHT31 library. Unlike the previous sensor, the begin function here also takes a parameter, which is the I2C address of the sensor. By default, the address is 44. However, if the AD pin of the module is connected to 5 volts, the address changes to 45 instead. Just like before, this begin function also returns true if communication is successful and false if the sensor is not detected. Next comes the AM2320 sensor. The Rob Tillart's library works a little differently. Unlike the other two sensors, this library does not require a begin function for initialization. Now let's move to the loop function, where the real magic happens. The first thing we do is read temperature and humidity values from the HTU21D sensor. We have used the read temperature function to get the temperature value in degrees Celsius and store it inside a float variable named HTU_temp. Similarly, we use the read humidity function to get the relative humidity value in percentage and store it inside a float variable named HTU_humidity. Next comes the AM2320 sensor. Before accessing the readings, we first call the read function. This function communicates with the sensor and updates the internal temperature and humidity data. The function also returns a status value. If the return value is 0, it means the reading was successful. Any non-zero value indicates a communication or checksum error. That's why we store the return value inside an integer variable named status. Next, we use the getTemperature function to retrieve the temperature value from the sensor. And then we use the getHumidity function to retrieve the humidity value. These values are stored inside the float variables AM_temp and AM_humidity. After that, we move on to the SHT31 sensor. Just like the HTU21D, we have used the read temperature and read humidity functions to get temperature and humidity readings from the sensor. The return values are stored in the variables SHT_temp and SHT_humidity. Once all the readings are collected, we begin printing them on the serial monitor. First, we print a heading called Sensor Readings to clearly separate each measurement cycle. Then we display the readings from each sensor one by one, starting with the HTU21D. Here, we use 2 if-else blocks, one for temperature and the other for humidity. Both are used to check whether the received values are nan or not by using the isNan function inside the if conditions. If the value is nan, which stands for not a number, it means the sensor reading has failed, so we print error on the serial monitor. Otherwise, we print the actual temperature or humidity value. For the AM2320, instead of checking nan, we simply check the status value returned by the read function. If the status is not 0, we print error. Otherwise, we print the temperature and humidity values normally. Finally, we print the temperature and humidity values for the SHT31 sensor in the same way as we did for the HTU21D sensor. After printing all the sensor readings, we print another separator line and add a 2-second delay before repeating the loop again. Now let's upload this code to our Arduino, and after a successful upload, we open the serial monitor, and you'll see live temperature and humidity readings from all three sensors updating continuously in real time. And with that, we have reached the end of this video. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Electro Nerds Academy, and we'll see you in the next one.